I love Skool, SKOOL, as a platform, but I use it way differently than most people do. You see, I don't use it as my business. I use it as a tool in my business. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you today how I use Skool in three different ways for one program. I use one school for bringing people into my world. I bring them into a program in another school. And the third school is what do we do after they've completed the program? Let me show you what I mean right now. Here we are looking right at school number one. Now, if you're not familiar with Skool, there's a couple different ways you can join, as you can see right here. Here's your clue. This is what is called the hobby level at $9 a month. Now, when you join at this level, you do get this little ribbon that says Powered by Skool, and it may show you down here a couple of other programs that maybe you might be interested in. But you know what? For what I'm using this for, I don't really care because this example is for my findability challenge. Now, when I first started doing challenges some number of years ago, I also had one called the AI Cash Flow Copywriting Challenge. And I used Facebook as the community for where we would gather for a 5-day challenge. It was a pop up group. We would come in, we would interact with each other during the 5 days, and I would put their workbooks and things in there. And way back in the day, I was even able to live stream the teaching into that community. All of those things have changed. Oh, they have hugely changed. As a matter of fact, one time when I was doing my challenge, both myself and my assistant got locked out of our own community. We had done nothing wrong. They wouldn't tell us why we would have been locked out, but we were basically put in Facebook jail. And so that was that for me. I am not going to continue to make these groups. And I had to make pop up groups every single time I did a challenge. We would create a brand new pop up group from scratch with a welcome video and all the things that I did to bring people into the challenge. Well, now I got the idea, why don't I use Skool? So I use a hobby level Skool for a challenge. This is my version of a pop up group. As you can see from the last time I did a challenge, I still have the messaging for where the Zoom links are, some of the support pieces, proof elements of some of the work I'm doing that I'm teaching them how to do. And you can set up your community with general discussion, with announcements, welcome, all of these things. And then we have the classroom. And in the classroom is where I have the general session content. I'll just show you real quick. You can have it living in there permanently. Your calendar, this is where you have your live Zoom link so that someone knows where to go to get to the level of challenge. And this is the one we have coming up on July 20th. So it's on the July 20th map, shows exactly what time. I have general session at 9 a.m. I have the VIP level additionally gets the Q&A at 10 a.m. And I have two different Zoom links. I have a whole way that I figured out how to do this, including where the members go, the community, all of that. The point of this is that when I'm ready to do another challenge, I can just come in here, take out all the current conversations that might happen on the next challenge, and start again with this permanent pop up group. Kind of a contradiction in terms, but that's what this turns into. For $9 a month, this can just live in the background until I do the next challenge. This is how I do the first step with using Skool. Now, here's Skool number two. Notice that now it says the Findability Lab. This is the actual program, the training that is offered in the challenge. Now, right now, you still see the little $9 ribbon because I've been working on it. So I just have it sitting in $9 mode for now. But because of what I'm going to be doing with the lab, I know I'm going to convert this to the $99 a month Skool. So the Findability Lab, my second step, will be the full-on Skool. But the same thing, you have your community, you have your classroom, you have all the courses that go with this, and you have your calendar, which right now is empty because we're waiting for the next cohort on this, the members, the leaderboards, all of it. And the other thing in the classroom is you can put all the coaching calls are in here with the videos. And so very, very easy. And we can close that little guy right there. Very easy to have the Findability Lab, which is step two of what I'm doing with Skool. And here is step three. This one hasn't been built yet. This is just the design, the Findability Lab Alumni. I'm going to use a third school that will simply be another hobby level school because I have an idea of how I'm going to move people from the second classroom school into their alumni group. And I have a lot of things that are going to go with it I'm not talking about yet today. But this is how I use school as a tool in my business. $9, moving into $99, $9. And so for a business that can bring in thousands of dollars, possibly over the next several years, my AI cash flow copywriting challenge I ran for years, and I will most likely be bringing it back to life because it's so important now to be able to understand the foundations of exactly how you're working with AI, how you're working with your marketing, what's changed about funnels. But here's the thing, if you can't be found, none of it matters at all. That's why I'm doing the Findability Challenge, and the next one starts July 20th. I'm going to put the link in the description for you. The point is, there are so many ways that you can use any of these tools, not necessarily the way everybody else is doing it. When I discovered Skool, at first I thought the same thing. Okay, you just have to build a membership or get affiliates, that type of thing. But it's actually a lot harder than you might think to build it to a sustainable level and a level that is really creating robust revenue for you. There are people that are doing it, they're 6-figure months, amazing. But some of us aren't really out for the big giant audience. Some of us are more about a small, intimate group that we can work with, that we really get to know, having a way to support them, being able to communicate on a regular basis, supplying the content. There's a whole other lesson involved with my school number 2, the Findability Lab, because the first time I made the offer in the challenge, I knew I still had to create the actual training, and the people that joined knew that as well. And so they just went right with me into this new school, and I created the training as we went, and I was able to adjust it to what they specifically needed or questions they might be asking. This is a whole other topic of how you can take your expertise, take your idea, and put it into a format that helps other people. So I help people that help people, and I do it by teaching, by leading, by coaching, and by giving a place you can land and get together with other people that are experiencing the same training and the same shift in their life right along with you. I've always done this in my programs, and this is how changes come about with new programs, new platforms, new ways to do things, and why we stay open to taking a look at something and saying, how can I make this work for me? What's the best way I can adapt to this? Because I see the brilliance here. And this is why I started using Skool. Because before I would create communities inside Kartra, I developed programs inside Facebook, all these different things. And instead, I can own the real estate basically of my own classroom that is consistent, a place for people to gather, a place where we can talk in between when I'm doing Q&A calls. So I'm still using Zoom for that. I still record the calls. They go into the Skool classroom. So easy to do. And you don't have to depend on yet another platform to be able to create a program right inside Skool. If you're interested in how to do that, let me know in the comments, because I'm thinking that I should do a little training on that one of these days as well, because I've become very adept at how to manage the Skool platform to the best advantage for what I want to do, just like you can for what you want to do. Again, none of this goes anywhere if people can't find you. And that's why I'm doing the Findability Challenge. There's a whole different way now that search is done. It's not just Google search. That's part of it. But guess who's answering on that? AI. I call it generic AI, is what Google search now has become. You don't see the ads on the right side of the page anymore. You see recommendations, you see referrals. How does that happen? I have a system I call the iron triangle of findability. I just kind of stumbled onto it accidentally on my own for my own content, and discovered that I was showing up sometimes literally within days, oftentimes within a week or two, not months, and sometimes at the very top of the page when someone was searching for the specific thing that I was talking about. There's a way to do this that does not require high tech, does not require you to suddenly become a programmer. Yes, we do use AI to help us, and I love being able to lead the way with these AI tools. You're the person in charge, not the AI. So many things for us to talk about with all of this. But I hope today that just seeing how you could use a platform like Skool in such an efficient and effective way for yourself, and at relatively low cost compared to what a lot of other platforms cost, what it costs to maintain membership sites and all of those things you can do very simply for a modest amount inside school. And remembering return on investment, that when you have a program that people are paying for and people are coming in on a regular basis, it pays for itself very quickly if you understand how to take your expertise and turn it into an online business. I love helping experienced professionals, consultants, coaches, therapists, counselors be able to do this for themselves. And we'll talk more about that in the coming days as well, because you take those years of experience, the decades of lived experience, whether you have a degree or not. I do not. I did not have any formal training, and be able to take expertise that you have from your life, from your decades of lived experience, and turn that into something that helps someone else. And it also creates the kind of life you desire for yourself, the freedom, the mobility, the ability to work when and where you want, and to work less and possibly make more. That's what this is all about. If you'd like to learn more about the Findability Challenge, I put the link in the description below. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them for you. This is Tina Lorenz. I do appreciate you being here. And you know what? I will be talking to you again soon. Bye for now.